Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 35th episode of the Orcocast. Today we have a deadly duo of video games, Lordwell Gaming in one corner,
Hi.
and the Orcosaurus in the other corner. Welcome back. And we have a packed program. We are going to talk about Hitman 3. We're going to talk about the showcase of Resident Evil 8. And we're going to talk about Sea of Thieves. Arr!
Your babe. Yeah.
Yeah. We start with Hitman 3. Hitman 3 has released this week. Full disclosure, I actually received the key from the developers. Imagine that, wow. I applied for two keys this week. I wanted
I think that's brilliant.
it is.
Free advertisement. It's
is.
right now. I don't think gaming companies need to advertise anywhere else. They
Yeah.
really just need to use streamers.
Yeah, but the funny thing about this is, so I applied for 2 gaming keys this week, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Everspace 2, which is like
Yeah.
an indie space RPG thing, yeah?
Yeah.
And I applied for Hitman 3. And I was like, okay, you ain't getting the AAA release this week, yeah? Because you don't get the AAA release. You're getting the indie one, which would actually be the preferred option for me.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is I got rejected by Everspace 2. Got Hitman 3.
You are approved by the other one. It's just I don't know. Just the triple A, even more. I don't know about the indie. I mean, some of the indie companies are dropping keys and everything. But like I said, we actually spoke about this on a few episodes ago when we were talking about streaming and the streaming world and everything. We actually mentioned this. Is just apply. I mean, there is nothing to lose. You can apply for a game that you may think it's good for your channel and everything. At the end of the day, these companies are looking for promotion, and this is free promotion. They're just giving you a code, which they probably think, I mean, if he's gonna spend the money or he's not gonna spend the money, we give him the code. At least on one of your streams, let's just say 200 people watch it. It's like it's 200 people that have seen your game and you having fun with that game. It's like it's free promotion. It doesn't cost them a single penny, and that's great. I mean, that's something some companies are starting to do, and this is a AAA, developer which has given you a code, and I think that's brilliant. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's the name of is it IO?
IO Interactive, yeah. So IO Interactive actually bought back the rights from Eidos or Square Enix Europe at this point. For the Hitman franchise, because IO is now fully independent, which I absolutely find to be amazing.
Yes, I love that. I love when companies are doing their own thing and they don't have to rely on a publisher.
So let's talk about the game real quick. I finished the first 2 missions. I liked it a lot. It's more of the same, essentially, like Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 and the games we've seen in the last years, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because I like the approach they do, the sandbox environment, where you're just thrown in, and basically then you just go around, look at the environment, what can I do? You listen to conversations going on, and then you just get tips. There is that, or for example, in the first mission you have 2 targets. Essentially, what boils down to the Burj Khalifa. So a really tall skyscraper. You're at the top of it. So how did I approach the 2 targets? I mean, some people might consider this spoilers. I don't care. You can skip ahead, but I'm gonna describe what I did. So the first target was actually surprisingly easy to get to. He's called Ingram. You overhear a conversation with some kind of fixer or assassin who wants to meet with Ingram, and basically what I did is I distracted this assassin after I overheard this conversation, took his disguise, and met with Ingram for the first time. Then Ingram gave me a job, knock out this reporter, or kill this reporter. I just knocked him out, took a photo, and then I had a second meeting with Ingram in his suit. In his suite, not suit. Suits, he wore a suit, obviously, but in his suite. I just went into his suite when no one was looking, poisoned the whiskey, there, just stood at the bar with a wine glass in my hand, waited until he came in, and then started to discussing with me some things. Then he took a sip of his whiskey, fell down. I put down my wine glass and just moved. And nobody bat an eyelid. That's actually brilliant. The second one, which I was surprised by, was actually a bit harder.
Yeah.
I was bumbling around a lot more with that guy. His name was Stuyvesant. He's like in a crowd and he has a bodyguard at him at all times. So I've been going around, and first I found a fuse box in the back of some art project where he went in a couple of times. I tried to find fuses to override the security, so basically that he gets electrocuted. You seemingly can't do that. I didn't find what I need, so I didn't find the item I needed to do that. But then, after running around a long time, I found out that he's actually waiting for a new bodyguard for him to show up. I pieced it a little bit together, and then I finally found the bodyguard in the dressing room, and he didn't have his uniform with him. So I basically just stole his papers, dressed up as a guard myself, went back to the Stuyvesant guy, introduced myself. From there on out, I was his bodyguard, and at some point, I just threw him off the skyscraper.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's why I like this
It
game
gives
so
you a
much.
lot of choice then.
Yeah, it does. And
great.
that's why I like this game so much. And also at the end, it always shows you the many ways basically how you can end this mission. That you can even find a sniper rifle somewhere and just shoot both of these guys in the head. I think it's more fun to work with the disguises and then just make it look like an accident.
I really like the look of the game as well.
It's just a lot of fun to play around in these sandbox environments, and that's why I like this so much. And the missions also have a lot of replay value because you can find a lot more ways than just do it like I did, like throwing the guy off of a skyscraper or whatever. I found a way where you can just loosen a winch after I killed both, because you always have to leave the map to end the mission. I found a winch to release like a huge chandelier that is over Stuyvesant at one point. You just can release this thing and it drops down on him and he's dead. Make it look like an accident. Yeah, and that's actually the fun, or where the fun of the game comes in. I enjoy this a lot. This is my kind of game where you just can experiment around and do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's not as good as Hitman Blood Money, which I have to preface, because Hitman Blood Money is just legendarily good. In Blood Money, you could just do like the crazy shenanigans. Like there's one mission where you have to assassinate someone who lives in a villa, and there's videos of people who just storm into the villa, activate all the guards, and pull that guy out, because at the start there is a limousine driving through the area, and they just pull him out onto the street. And then he gets basically run over by the limousine, and he's dead. This is not entirely possible, I think, in this in the last 3 games, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. That, I mean, to be honest with you, if you tell me all of this, I would never think this would be a Hitman game. It's so, like, I don't know, it seems so well done. They have done an excellent job with the game. I'm actually surprised of how good. Like, how I didn't know about the multiple choices, and I mean, I haven't played the game. I have seen the game. It just obviously it seems like the classic story driven game, but I didn't really go so deep into seeing that you could do, like, if you had to take someone down, you could do it in multiple ways, which is absolutely amazing. Like I said before, I really the one thing that stands out to me is the look of the game. The color palette of the game, it's just I don't know what it is, and it's not shiny. I like shiny stuff. I usually go for shiny stuff, and it's like this has this kind of like grainy type of look onto the color of the actual game, which is absolutely beautiful. It looks like it's made on the 70s or the 80s, but then it's a modern, isn't it? Color palette makes it feel like the 70s or the 80s, isn't it?
It is definitely influenced by that. Yeah, it looks like it's very stylized 70s, 80s.
It's all of the color because then it's modern. So
Yeah.
well, the game looks absolutely wonderful. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the hit. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the single player story driven games. It's one of these type of games are the ones that I like watching rather than playing myself.
Yeah.
So it just looks stunning. And if you can do so many like different things and you can have like multiple choices, that's actually brilliant. I think it's actually brilliant.
It was always about having like multiple choices to just kill people. I don't know, I think it was Hitman 3 Contracts, so the third one that came out initially, where you just could you could just find a like gasoline can in a tool shed and then just climb the villa of the guy you were targeting and just throw down the can of gasoline, the jerry can, into the open fire and in through the chimney. It would explode and kill the guy. But like you had to experiment around and find all those, let's say, Easter eggs and stuff.
Okay.
That's what I like about it. I mean, these games are not as freeform as the old titles. Like, especially like Contracts and Blood Money. It still is there, It still has this kind of free way of doing stuff.
How long did it take you to do the first two acts?
I think I took overall 3 hours.
3 hours. How many
Yeah,
acts on the game?
I don't even know. I think it's 8 again.
So it's gonna be about 10 hours game. Good length for a single player. And you say there is
Yeah.
replayability on the missions as well.
There's so much replayability. I mean, you gain levels, so you gain experience and you also gain levels. And the more you play a mission, the more options you also unlock. So, for example, my first playthrough during the Burj Khalifa thing, I also unlocked a new starting point. So it won't start me off in the main area of the game, but I can also start off in the there is a meeting room for employees, and you can start off in there then. So you can select that as your starting point already as an employee. Yeah, in the disguise of an employee. So there is various options. You can also choose your concealed item, which you can take with you. You have various options there, like you can go in with C4, for example, or with a silenced gun, or it depends a little bit what you unlocked, yeah? And you can just play the mission then how you envision it. And it actually makes sense to let you play the mission first once before you can all do that, because you kind of learn the map, you kind of learn the routines of the NPCs and everything, and then you can basically devise your own strategy, how to make, for example, a speed run, or how to do the map in a certain way. Like I said, I like it a lot. It's damn good.
Are you actually just talking about this? You're gonna be streaming it?
I'm gonna stream it today. Yeah, I'm gonna stream the
There you go.
third mission.
So yeah, just go and check him out.
Yeah.
The Orcosaurus. Twitch.tv/Orcosaurus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it looks like so far what I've seen is just looks really good. I mean, to me, it stands out how the game looks. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's because maybe it's because of the new developers or something. But the color palette of the game is just it fits the style of Hitman. It just fits the style. Having the multiple choices. I mean, they have put a lot of time into it, which is great. How much is this game priced at the moment? Is it like a full AAA pricing?
It's full AAA pricing, so it's 60.
Okay.
If you it's also, and this is where I kind of have the biggest issue with at the moment. The PC release is Epic Store exclusive at the moment.
I mean, it can be. Yeah, it's also on every single platform, by the way. If
Yeah.
anyone wants to look for it,
Yeah, exactly.
every single platform. So including Switch as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Including the Switch, yes. I don't know if they gutted the Switch version. I would be a little bit wary of that. I need to look into that. I'm not sure how much is possible on the Switch when it comes to that game. But yeah, it's on every single platform in existence. It actually has a huge upgrade on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Is it
And
Series
on
X?
PC as well, as I can see.
I would, from what I've played, if you like the first two games, I would just recommend it.
Just get the game, man.
It's more of the same essentially, but that's not necessarily a bad thing in this case. Because we don't get these like free form sandbox game anymore without a lot of hand holding and where you can just tailor it to your own play style.
Like you said, it might be more of the same, but the thing is, obviously it's a new installment of the game. Not only that, you're gonna play a complete different story, which is already. I mean, some games when they create the second or the third game, it just becomes like a boring mess, and everything is the same. But this game is more of the good stuff with new things to do, new plays, and multiple new ways to do stuff. So
Mm.
that's what a new installment of the same game should do. Feels already familiar, but then everything else, the story and everything related with it is new, which it's kind of refreshing on a series, Hitman series, which we even have a movie and everything of it. So
We actually had
it's
also two movies.
yeah, so that's great to see. Honestly, the
Yeah.
great job to the developers. Well done,
Yeah.
very well done.
We can move on to your favorite topic, horror games.
Please don't.
Resident Evil 8.
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
Resident Evil.
It's also called Resident Evil Village of the MILFs.
What?
No, no, it's called,
Village.
yeah, it's just Village. I made MILFs up because have you seen the showcase?
I've seen the showcase. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so a Resident Evil 8 showcase happened this week, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably a very exciting title. I'm looking forward to this year because I do think it looks absolutely amazing. They blew the art style out of the water with this one, and it looks like it pays tribute to a lot of Hammer movies, actually, which surprises me. Like 60s, 70s horror.
No, no, no. I just don't. It's. I don't know why. I actually think we have spoken about this before the podcast. By the way, I don't know. I don't understand why Resident Evil has moved from kind of like a shooting, kind of a scary game to a full-on horror game. It's a horror game. I don't know. I just don't identify Resident Evil
I,
as
I,
this type of game.
I don't know. Have you played or seen Resident Evil 7?
You think I'm gonna play that? You
No,
crazy?
but have you seen it?
I have seen bits of it. I'm not,
Okay.
I'm not,
Okay.
listen, I'm not into that, okay?
I will tell you now, if you look at the gameplay, you will realize that it's just, again, Resident Evil, or everything that Resident
I,
Evil was about.
I consider Resident Evil kind of like a small third-person shooter with kind of like some elements of horror, but this is a full-on horror game.
I can just attest as a huge. I mean, I'm not as huge as Bum Bum into Resident Evil. He would probably just break everything about the showcase down and tell you everything about it and how it correlates to everything else in the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah.
As a huge Resident Evil fan of the first hour, I can tell you this, especially about 7. Resident Evil 7 just moved the perspective from third person to first person. It is still the same game. It is still the same mechanics. Um, it is more atmospheric, but it has this. I don't know. Have you ever seen like Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Especially the second one. The second one is actually more relevant in this discussion. It's the family in Resident Evil 7 is a lot more goofy and a lot more into this kind of stuff in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and it's more kind of with an eye wink than that it is creepy. At least this is what I get from it and what the developers wanted. And I really think the only difference is just the perspective they chose to do it.
I mean, I don't really mind the first person perspective. like you said, that's actually something good. That actually makes a lot of sense. The immersion of these games, obviously, when you put it on a first person, it's gonna change completely. It's it's
Yeah,
gonna get you inside the whole game. But the thing is, there is no aspect of shooting anymore, is it?
there is a lot.
Like aspect of shooting, like the previous games, like the
Yeah,
past.
yeah. There's a lot of shooting in this game.
Okay, I have not seen
You
nothing of it.
find pistols, you find shotguns, you have the entire
Mhm.
Resident Evil shenanigans.
Question: is Resident Evil 8 based on the mansion from Resident Evil 1?
No,
Because it looks a lot like it.
it's more a callback to the castle of Resident Evil 4.
Okay,
That's at
it
least
looks a
my
lot like
perspective.
the first one though.
It I mean,
The main entrance though.
I can see that comparison to
Yeah.
an extent, but I really think that Resident Evil or the entire atmosphere that we're going for in the showcase
Yeah.
correlates a lot more to Resident Evil 4 than to Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
I do honestly think that Resident Evil 8 is trying to just harken back to that title, more or less. Which also makes sense in a numerical kind of way. And I do think we will see a lot of themes from Resident Evil coming up again. Resident Evil 4. Hopefully,
No,
it's not a prolonged escort mission. Please don't.
it probably would. Fortunately. Yeah, I mean, as far as I can see, I mean, well, for what I've seen about the game, I actually have the game open now to see, if I see any of the details. But yeah, as far as I'm saying, it did remind me as the previous, the Resident Evil 1, it kind of like the mansion kind of like looked similar. And yeah, I mean, I just myself, the way I am, and obviously I'm not into like a scary horror games. I do think the game looks absolutely stunning. I don't think I don't know, that's my cup of tea. Like I said again, like I said with Hitman, these kind of games is kind of like the games that I would love to. I like watching until there is a scary moment when I leave. People that have played the scary games and have seen me, they know that. And yeah, I mean, obviously, it's got the feeling of the Resident Evil of picking up the key, picking up the, whatever it is, a statue, and you have to put it here, or no, and you will unlock a puzzle, and which is the classic, Resident Evil. If you obviously, like you said, it's a callback to Resident Evil. You're saying to Resident Evil 4, right?
Yeah, I personally would say it looks more like 4 from
So
the
yeah, I mean,
atmosphere and the designs they're going for.
if you are into Resident Evil, obviously, you have to pick this one up because it already looks beautiful. I hope it's a long game. How
Yeah,
long since they did Resident Evil 7 though?
3 years actually,
It's
4 years,
been 3 years. Oh wow, that's a
four
plenty.
years.
That's plenty of time to put onto this game.
Yeah, I think they have like the main team working on the main storyline while they have a B team for the remake.
That's great.
I think that's the way it works. And they put out the remakes back to back essentially, and now they're doing the village. They also announced a multiplayer game during that showcase, but that looked god awful. That was a major miss. And what else did they announce? They also announced that Resident Evil like costumes and weapons and whatnot come to the Division 2, which makes no sense at all to me.
Oh yeah, did you see that? Oh Jesus Christ.
I mean, why?
I don't know. It's just crossovers. Like there is a lot of games doing a lot of crossovers, and I don't know
Yeah, but
why.
it makes no sense.
It just doesn't make no sense. It's like, I mean, to be honest with you, does it make any sense to have all the Marvel characters on Fortnite?
No.
There you go.
I would even say it hurts Marvel's brand. That's
Jesus Christ,
just
this is
me.
a scary part that I'm watching right now on this game. I just can't. I'm sorry. It's a scary part. I'm gonna turn it off now because I just can't watch it. It's just too much for me. That's it. It's over. So yeah, this is scary stuff on the game. Just so you know, I just turn it, and I don't like it.
then again, you have to factor in that Val is probably the most afraid man I've ever met.
Yes, I am. I am. I'm a
And
chicken, and I admit it. I am a full-on chicken.
okay, at least
There's
you say
nothing wrong with
you
that.
admit it.
There is
That's
nothing
okay.
wrong with being a chicken.
I can live with that. Yeah, that's basically the showcase It looks stunning. There is a demo out for PS5 at the moment.
It's a demo already.
Yeah, and they want to release a new demo down the line before the game releases for all platforms. The current demo is just PS5 exclusive.
Okay. Do we have an ETA on the game when it's actually out?
May 7th, something like that.
May 7th. Okay, so it's actually quite close.
It's quite close to release. And it's probably one of the biggest titles for me personally this year. I have like 3 titles I'm incredibly hyped for at the moment this year. We have Atelier Riser 2, which is like the most weep JRPG you can ever get. And then we have the Neo 2, which is also releasing in February. Like Atelier Riser is next week. And then we have Neo 2, and then this is like my list so far. I've seen a few other games on during the game show awards, which look kinda interesting, but I'm gonna hold off on those before I see more.
I don't see this year anything interesting in my opinion though.
Like I said, it's probably down to what you like, and you're more of a multiplayer guy.
Yeah.
I still love my single player games. Or when it comes to multiplayer, they're making an Ash vs Evil Dead game, which is a co-op shooter, I think.
Yeah.
Which looks not too bad. And the other game I look forward to because it looks a lot like Hunt it's called Hood. That is also seemingly a very interesting game that uses a lot of mechanics from Hunt. And that could be an interesting endeavor as well. I just Hood. I already don't like the pre-order policy, like pre-order now and play 5 days early and have access to this, and also pre-order the season pass and the year 1 pass and whatnot for passes. And
The classic.
I'm like, just off and give me a game. I'm gonna bleep that out.
That came too late.
No, it's you know what I mean. Like these insane pre-order policies where you don't even know if the game is successful and we'll see a year 1 pass, like with so many games these days, or if the developers stay committed to it. Do me a favor, kids, don't pre-order. Please don't.
Don't pre-order games.
No, don't.
Even less if it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean in general, just don't.
No, if it's Destiny, pre-order everything, please. Thank you. I have.
Yeah, but
Who is it? It's a Hitman. Hitman was like, he's gotta have something. Like Val has something with Bungie. Like Hitman. Bungie pays me to do advertisement here every day.
I believe that. I believe that.
I just love the game. What can I do? It's just so I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. If you wanna talk Destiny, I can talk off all day.
You love Destiny. Deep inside, you love Destiny.
Deep inside of me.
You do. All right, so we come on to Destiny for some reason. I always do the same thing. I don't know how.
You go always back to the well.
We always keep coming back to Destiny.
Yeah. But you know what else we could come back to? Sea of Thieves.
That's a wonderful. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is. Have you played Sea of Thieves? You told me you have played Sea of Thieves.
Yes, I have actually. I mean, not recently, but like still, like till the middle of last year, I used to play it quite frequently actually, and it's a lot of fun if you have friends. And if you have a crew together and can just do shenanigans, it's actually really good.
It's absolutely brilliant. I believe it's actually a great. There is a lot of people because I have been playing throughout the entire week, okay? On the streams actually. So, showing a little bit of the game. When I was playing live, there was a lot of people coming in and everything and asking. And what I found out more than anything is like there is a ton of people like me that played the game when it first came out for like 3-4 days, got bored of the game, and never came back to it. found out it's just when I came back to the game just because it just appeared on my Game Pass Ultimate. So I kind of said, you know what, I might just give it a try. You know what I mean? So it's there. I'm looking for someone to play, so I might as well give it a try and see what it is. And I found out there is like a thing called what you might call it, Telltales. That like Telltales are freaking. I mean, the game for starters is free on Game Pass Ultimate. So if you have it, please do me a favor, pick it up again. Get yourself a crew and get yourself a group of friends who can play with you, and please, please play the game because not only the game has changed so much that there is also it is such a fun, like there is a lot of fun just to play the game now more than before because there is a lot more things to do. The basics of the game, don't get me wrong, the basics of the games are exact same thing. Nothing has changed on the basics of the game. You pirating and that's it. You go with your ship and just do your shenanigans and your stuff. That hasn't changed. The basics of the games are exactly the same.
Basics of the game were always extremely well done.
Yes.
And that wasn't the initial problem. The initial problem you already came or was there was nothing to do in when it was first released.
Yeah.
It was essentially a dead game.
Yeah, a dead beautiful game because the way the game looks, the way the water on that game looks, there is no other game that makes that. I think just the looks of the game is beautiful. The sea, sailing the sea on that game. That's why the game was kind of popular when it came out, even though there was nothing to do. It was popular because the look of the game is absolutely stunning. The game is beautiful. You can argue with me with that. I just bring it on. But the game looks absolutely stunning.
No, I actually agree with you. The game has great attention to detail. Like it goes down to when you equip the sniper rifle and look through the scope, the crack in the scope is actually your
Your side,
crosshair.
yeah. The red dot, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually perfect. I love it.
See a tiny bit of variety on the weapons, but I guess everything comes with time. I mean, I don't know, but I think there is a little bit. There should be. There is only a sword, a shotgun, and sniper, and a pistol. I would love to see a little bit more variety, just a tiny bit. Just change. I mean, I know there's like different skins for each one of them. There is a ton of skins for each one of the things, and that's fine. I would love to see all the type of weapons. Just something else. Just mix it up a little bit. That's the only thing that I would be missing on that. Then the ships, it's beautiful. To be sailing is beautiful. There is activities now. There is the telltales, like I said before. The telltales that I want to focus on right now because telltales are just not just beautiful, but the telltales are they're puzzles. They are puzzles which don't tell you they don't even tell you what island you have to go to. So basically it's like the old pirate movies where they say that you have the message on the bottle and they tell you whatever and you have to go find it. You have to figure out what the riddle is. So they basically tell you a riddle and you have one page and they're telling you one riddle and it says on this place, on whatever place, and maybe they don't even tell you what island is it, but there is a picture of the island on an angle and you have to figure out what island is it. Because the islands on I don't know if you guys noticed that if you have played Sea of Thieves, but the islands on Sea of Thieves are made, like they know like the shapes of the islands are completely different and they are for a reason, and the shapes of the islands are made on that shape for a reason.
It's not procedurally generated, it's all handcrafted, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's handcrafted, and that's how they can do the telltales. Because on the telltale, they can show you a portion of the island from an angle, and you can figure out the island. If you have been there just looking at the map, if you have the map and you open the telltales and you see at the picture, because that actually is one of the telltales, there is a ton of, I think there is like 12 or 13 telltales, and they are long. They're not like at 10 minutes. I would say they're about an hour. Obviously, it depends on how experienced your teaming. If your team is like a casual like me, we were going with a casual group of four people. We were having fun with it. and we were messing around. So it would take us about an hour to do one Telltales, and there is like a ton of Telltales, and you get rewards for them, by the way. The more you do, the more rewards you get, like actually cosmetic rewards, which are really cool. You got your Telltales, they give you an angle, and we had to figure out the island just by looking at the the picture that we were shown on the islands and everything, and it's great. It is great. They send you to one place and they say, on this place, blah blah blah. There is the on the anchor of of something where it lights up, and we were trying for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what the heck the riddle meant, and all we had to do was to pull out the lamp on an anchor, and like you can lift the lamp and kind of like illuminate around you, like the anchor will like glow, and it would show you like a path that you had to go to. It's just the Telltales are absolutely beautiful. They are worth playing. They honestly, I would say, if you have played at the start like I did and then dropped it because there was nothing to do, and you happen to have Game Pass Ultimate, please do me a favor and go on to Game Pass Ultimate and download Sea of Thieves. Get yourself a group of friends. You don't have to even go with a group of friends of 4 people. Just get yourself a crew with another friend. Just chill out, a small sloop, which is for 2 people, which by the way, I feel like is more comfortable to be on a slope rather than a big, galleon of 4 people. I really like the slopes. You can play with 2, 3, and 4 people. Well, you can play up to 2 people, 3 people, and 4 people. It depends on how many people you got on. Obviously, it's gonna change your type of shape. You just go and pick it up. Do a Telltale. Try to figure out. You don't need experience. You can figure it out between 2 people. It's not super difficult. It's difficult enough to make you think, if you get what I mean. It's not one of those things that you would say is almost impossible and it will drive you insane. It's difficult enough for you to like use your brain and start, kind of like trying to figure out what it is, but you will figure it out. And it's absolutely beautiful. Honestly, I just think that they outdone themselves with the Telltales, and it's right now the most beautiful piece of content that I would dare to say in the entire Game Pass Ultimate library, apart from Destiny, obviously. It is the most beautiful thing, honestly. Just grab yourself a crew and go sail on Sea of Thieves. And remember, the game is free. And if you have, some spare, Microsoft credit coming from Mixer or whatever, go and get yourself a pet. Just put it on one of the cannons and just throw that pet out of the, just launch out the pet. Just shoot that pet everywhere. It's so much fun to play with. I was having a blast. I mean, I don't see myself playing this game for weeks and weeks on end, because I don't think it's that type of game. It's one of those games that you would say, Orco, you got one of those days that you're gonna start your stream and you like wondering, what am I going to play today? Don't you have one of those days?
Sometimes I have those days, yes.
Yeah, what am I going to play? I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be playing today. Play that game. Get yourself 1 or 2 people in and play that game and do a Telltale together. And time will fly. Time will fly and you will laugh, you will have fun, and it's a beautiful game. It is and just coming back to the looks of the game, you realize how good it looks. And also it's enhanced for the Series X, by the way, which if you happen to have the Series X, it looks even better than before. So if it looked good, now it looks even better. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you got. I mean, I was hogging this whole conversation. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I'm glad you can be passionate about this game because, like you already said, it's actually people always say it's fun with friends. I think that's a bit of a cop out of an argument because you can basically make everything fun with friends. But in this case, it kind of rings true because you can just do not just do the telltales, but you can do all kinds of shenanigans there. You can just meme it up or troll a little bit each other, like in a friendly way. The arena mode is actually also quite good. I played that.
And now that you actually mentioned that, the arena mode, thanks to the arena mode, it has removed a lot of the toxicity that used to exist in the past when other people used to attack you when you were in the open. There was a lot of people trying to attack you and everything. So that actually having the arena has removed a lot of that toxicity. So if that put you off in the past, which it did for me, actually it's being 90% removed thanks to the arena.
And but be wary, the arena is ultra competitive, is ultra toxic. All the toxicity basically moved
Yeah.
exactly there. The normal mode is called Sea of Thieves, and the arena mode is basically called Salt of Thieves. The salt is real in that one, so
It used to be toxic in the public space, which I am glad they actually did that.
it's still kind of around. I've seen some streamers also do like troll streaming on Sea of Thieves in the public one and not in the arena. But yeah, overall it's much more newcomer friendly than it was.
It was newcomer friendly before, but now it's in depth with with newcomer friendly
Yeah.
because it's got so many things that you can do. It's so much fun that you can mess with. Like if you have like just get yourself a pet. It's $5 only to get yourself a pet, and your pet will come around with you. It's just fun, and if you're playing with friends, you can just shoot each other's pets on the cannons and you and just troll each other all day. I spent the entire one entire trip just shooting my friend Suave cat on the cannons, like literally the entire way, because they respawn back in the ship and you can just grab it and put it back into the cannons and keep shooting it. And it's just you can have so much fun with it. It's like honestly, you can put each other on the break and everything. So it brings a lot of fun. It brings a it's a harmless kind of game. You understand what I mean? It's just there is no blood, there is no not toxicity. Obviously, like you said, toxicity has kind of moved onto the arena, but there is no kind of like toxicity. There is just chill. There is something about the game that makes you feel comfortable, and they nailed it. I don't know if they were looking for that feeling. If they were, they nailed it. If they weren't, I don't know how they done it.
I
Yeah.
do honestly think they wanted to achieve this kind of feeling you're referring to, this like chill pirate goofy atmosphere where you're just having fun with
Yeah.
friends.
They
Yeah,
nailed
they
it.
nailed it. And I'm also firmly convinced they wanted to go for that, but I do not know what went wrong during the initial launch. I absolutely do not know why it was so bare bones.
I would say release too fast.
Probably, but that's the fast releases is like a industry-wide disease, I would almost say at this point.
It keeps happening. People keep buying it. They will not change it. So
It
this game is a clear example of how a brilliant game was released too fast, and it hurt the game when the game is absolutely beautiful and it's absolutely stunning, and it's changed now with time. They had time to create because the base game didn't need to be changed. The base game was absolutely beautiful. The game was doing perfectly fine,
there was just
and
nothing to do there.
that might be an argument with everyone, but I would say I love how like let's say Anthem with the same kind of like the same issue. There is nothing to do. There is no end game. There is kind of like it feels bland to me. Anthem kind of like looks good, plays well, and moves amazingly, but there is nothing else. That's all there is to it. So Sea of Thieves had the same issue. It moves great. It feels great. The game is beautiful, but that's it. That was about it. Like you would sail twice, and that was the end of it. There was not really incentive for it. And now with Sea of Thieves, it's just everything's completely changed. Like now there is telltales, which will take you about an hour if you're just goofing around. They are riddles. Each one of the telltales is completely different, by the way, completely different. You're not doing twice the same thing, which is great. That's variety. That's what the game needed. That's exactly what the game needed. Variety and a little bit of a change. So not two are the same. It's just a great game to pick up right now. And like I said, if you can afford it, and if you have some extra, Microsoft credit on your account, please do go support them because so they can create more stuff, because I really want to see that game being successful and keep creating things, because it's a game that you can play if you have family, you have children or something. That's a game you can pick up with your son or your daughter and have an evening, a whole evening playing with and have fun. I do believe the intention of this game is purely good, and there is absolutely, I barely have ever seen a game that is so little, what is it, or gaudy or gore or kind of like aggressive, or it's so mild on all these things, and then it just plays well, feels good, and it's just fun. It is full fun game. It's not a game that's going to keep you playing for years. No, it is not. If you're looking for those type of games, just go and play Call of Duty every single year. Go and play Destiny. Go and play The Division. Those are the games that are going to keep you playing continuously. But if you're looking for something that you can have a good time and have a laugh and be with friends or family or kids or something, do me a favor and pick it up and just play it. You will not regret it.
Especially not now, since they finally added content to it.
There is not only Turtles, by the way.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
You can be a pirate legend, which means if you're a pirate legend, you have to reach level 50 with each one of the factions. Now, when you are a pirate legend, there is a surprise. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there is a surprise if you do the pirate legend. There is a ton of cosmetics. There is pets. You can change the look of the ship. You can change the look of your character. You can change the look of your weapons. You can change the look of a lot of things.
You can also grind out all premium cosmetics in-game, I think. You can get premium currency in-game. It's a very slow trickle, but you can get it. So I commend them for that as well. So you don't have to spend a single penny on it, other than the initial asking price maybe, or if you have Game Pass Ultimate. I remember now, I actually received a code for the game from Microsoft when it was released on Steam. I got a Steam code. I have it on Steam. It's also fully cross-compatible. You can play with your friends on PC and on Xbox, or mix them if you choose to. A ton of options for you to do so. If you want to be competitive, go into the arena. Sword of Thieves is real, and it's there for you to witness. If you just want to have a chill time with your friends, hang out in the normal mode, sail the ocean. You can also just go explore. This is also pretty great. You just can land on an island and see what it has for you. Sometimes you might find cool stuff there. Overall, just now more than ever, it's just a well-rounded package.
It is definitely. And no one should miss out on it. No one should miss that game. Absolutely no one. And that's it for me. I mean, I don't have anything to say. Like if you got a chance, give it a try, and you will not be disappointed. Trust me.
And see, we can be in agreement, Val.
Yeah, for once. We are in agreement for once.
Yeah. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up here, because the deadly duo has to do deadly things. And with that being said, that has been the 35th episode of the Orcocast. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. Lord Val, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Lord Gaming, and also you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Lord Gaming as well. Twitter is Lord Twitch. And also, if you're looking for copyright-free music, the stream jams, and you just have to search Lord Gaming on any streaming, music streaming software, and you will find completely copyright-free music. And on YouTube, Lord Gaming as well.
You can find me on twitch.tv/theorcosaurus, twitter.com theorcosaurus, and everywhere else just Orcosaurus. And with that being said, take good care of yourselves and have a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye.